Hi, I'm Holly, I'm 19 and a first year undergraduate at Worcester College doing Earth Sciences.
Hi, I'm Teddy. I'm 20, I'm at Worcester here, and I'm doing Economics and Management.
I originally chose Worcester because of the beauty, and arriving here it was as impressive as I imagined it would be, more so, just the grandeur of it. Walking into the first quad, the cloisters, it's quite impressive.
It does feel a bit like a country estate here, in a very good way. It's very relaxed, there's lots of, grassy, wide open spaces, but as Holly says, the sheer imposingness of the main buildings around the main quad, for example, strike you first. I think that given the nature of the architecture, it does help perpetuate the traditional feel of Oxford.
I think some critics will say it's outdated, but I think it's one of its strengths, really. If you walk around modern places, there's no sense of the weight of academia behind it. I know it sounds ridiculous, but applying here, you get a real sense of how many people have walked down the same streets and how many people have been in the same rooms and had the same tutorials. And the serious rigour of it all, the weight of it.
Feels like a traditional seat of learning, which
Yeah.
you wouldn't get if we were in modern buildings. It would feel like we're almost all in offices, but when we're here, we really feel like we are part of the academic community.
Yeah.
A lot of the people of our friends have all come here with the same perspective we have. Whether we enjoy the way Oxford is and how it looks and how it appears.
Yes, originally the colleges were religious centres of learning. I mean, Worcester, for example, was Benedictine monks, I know, and that's influenced the architecture as well, but the layout, a lot. Very inward-facing.
Yeah, like a protective community almost feel to it.
Whereby isolated. So.
Yeah, to keep them very focused on their learning and away from the other aspects of life at that time in the 12th and 13th century, busy as it was. The porters do act very much as gatekeepers for the colleges. For example, at Worcester we have a 24-hour porters the whole time in the lodge. So there's always people there on guard, keeping out of the people. And in fact, I think our college is closed the whole time.
But Christchurch you have to pay to go into. The porters wear bowler hats. I mean, it's a very important role, I think, for some of the colleges.
I mean, they are effectively the people who guard us and keep our safety and prevent thieves entering and maintain the isolation of the colleges. Apart from the university, in terms of the industry in Oxford, I don't know that much. There is a mini car factory somewhere out.
Is there?
Yeah, there is, I'm sure, somewhere. Producing minis. I don't know what else there is, really.
Yeah, I mean, massive tourism, but again, that's a byproduct of the university. Oxford Uni Press, yeah, the University Press keeps the university alive.
We're pretty unaware of it, to be honest.
I think it's odd to try and take yourself out of the situation and assess how the rest of the world views Oxford, the rest of the area. Funny mixture, I think. I'd say they respect what it stands for, what it's always stood for, and the tradition and the academia. But it's very detached. As said before, it keeps itself to itself, almost by design. It likes to perpetuate the intensity and the isolation. And that can't integrate well, that can't come across well, I shouldn't think. So, a difficult mix. I don't know how they see it.
No, I agree with that. I find that it's very hard to view ourselves from their perspective, but I think they probably would slightly perhaps resent what we have here in Oxford. The buildings we have available, the things that they don't have access to.
The perspective must be so different, being on the outside of the walls, not being able to go into most of the city centre, not being part of it. The colleges take up so much of the city centre, the heart of the area they live in, they can't go into most of it.
If I could change Oxford in any way to improve how it would be for future undergraduates in terms of the buildings and how Oxford is, I think it sounds a bit odd, but I'd clean it up. A lot of the buildings here have got a lot of black on the side, and they are looking a bit old. And while that has its charm, unlike somewhere like Cambridge, which appears a lot more old on the surface, the big imposing facades of a lot of the Oxford buildings, I think would appreciate slight cleaning a little bit.
I just feel that it's especially nice in areas like where Worcester is situated, in Gloucester Green. The modern is next to the old colleges, but I wish they created nice modern buildings for me.
No more building of silly departments that are huge concrete buildings that we get.
Horrible.
Something like the engineering
department.
No.
Oh no. A lot of the science area needs help. Serious help.
I spent a lot of time at the Side Business School, which is only built about sort of 4 or 5 years ago, and that is a modern building, but
Stunning.
It sort of fits in with how Oxford is. It's got an interesting features, and while it's big and it's new, it fits.
Yeah.
In 2015, I imagine that I'll be probably somewhere in the city in London, working away hours after hours, then hopefully occasionally coming back and seeing Oxford every now and then, sort of seeing the college. I don't know how much that will happen. We may, by 10 years after, we may have got so far adrift from the community that we will only be coming back in the form of the occasional sort of old boy dinners or...
Yeah, it's so hard to imagine where you'll be in 10 years' time. I know I'm the kind of person that isn't very good with jobs, so I'd love to imagine I could be an academic. Obviously, the ideal for that kind of life is staying here, being here. But you want to go, you want to see the world, do other things. But so long as I don't get kicked out in my first year, I really hope I still look back at it and want to come back and love it, and as much as I do now.